Epiphany stands out to me on the album, but also in what you're describing right now. You know, like, I mean, there's not one person I haven't played that song for that isn't walking around quoting it to this day. You know, that there is something to that moment when you realize, you know, oh, everyone else isn't, no one's happy. Oh, these people do not have flavor.
Right.
So they're haters.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, I mean, that's one of my favorite productions on there from Illingsworth. I mean, just the way it just rings and reverberates, you know. But I also think that theme to me has always been a part of what I've loved about your music since the first time I heard you at Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival, probably. Was this relentless belief that, like, you know, I could just be myself. I can, as long as the bars are tight, then everything else will be tight. As long as I don't get too far away from myself and worry about what other people are doing, everything's gonna be okay. So this song feels a lot like that to me at the same time.
Yo, I gotta, even as I hear you, it make me feel good to hear you say that, because I'm seeing all this stuff happen. My sister texted me the other day about stand up, and she said, yo, I'm getting good son type vibes off this. You know, this is, and you know, hearing you say this, because yo, that I didn't have that. I didn't feel as comfortable by myself. I didn't feel as comfortable if I didn't shave my head every day for a while. When we met, I was looking wild. People think I'm looking wild again. I'm just like, I'll get to it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just an example, but I'll get, you know, like, the comfort with myself is coming back. And the more it comes back, the stronger the art get, you know, and I'm able to, you know, even something as simple as being online. You know what I mean? When we met, I was like, online is not my thing, but shouts to everybody online. But then I got online. That was part of I gotta be online. I heard that you gotta be online. I gotta be online. Then once I got online, I was like, yo, I do have to be online. You know what I mean? I'm not dissing online. If you online and you happy, shouts to you. You online and you happy. Me, for online, it wasn't me. Everybody got different. Some people can hoop, some people can ski, whatever. I don't like skiing. To me, skiing is like being online. Some people love skiing, you know? But I started doing a bunch of things that wasn't me for the logical, rational outcome that it was gonna have. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it because it made me feel good in the moment, in the now, in the second. You know what I mean? Oh, but this is gonna cultivate whatever thing. And when I say whatever thing, it really is money and notoriety. So I should even stop masking it and just be honest what it is I'm talking about, you know? But but having the comfort of self, which I had in the days earlier, and which is now I'm rediscovering. But like most have said, like I seen Bass said, sometimes you gotta leave to come back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he, you know, I don't know if he coined that, but he said that to me. What once with comfort of self, because people are mirrors, you know what I mean? You may get some how dare you be yourself-ism. And that's what epiphany is about. How dare you be yourself-ism. And I think that's what a lot of the judgment is about. And you know, I brought up the Franco thing. I don't think nobody should be doing nothing to nobody that ain't a loving thing. You know what I'm saying? Whether they got an excuse or not. That's how I aim to be. And I definitely, you know, have not gotten an A+ on that yet, but that's what I work towards. I mean, I haven't gotten a B or a C, but acting like somebody else is illin', like we don't ill, it just ain't realistic. Acting like somebody else, like I want to just turn it around, you know. Before I'm gonna have my house in order before I start getting at cats, you know what I mean? And I think part of having my house in order, realize I don't really need to ever get at cats, but you're likely to get a lot of how dare you be yourself-ism. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of, you know, I've felt a lot of desire, you know, the pull to take that personally, you know what I mean? But it ain't personal, man. You know what I mean? It ain't personal. And I really think it's an opportunity to show even more love. You know, when I did These People Do Not Have Swag, you know, it made me smile, and it, you know, I'm you know, but in real life, I'm not telling people it's okay. I know you just say got no flavor yourself, so you a little, upset at me. I'm not saying that because that ain't, that's not sensitive. That's insensitive. But I will recognize you probably got a little disconnect from your own flavor. Let me see how I could cultivate that, or let me just, go to the other room or something.
I mean, it comes across like an invitation. You know what I mean? It doesn't come across like a finger point.
Oh, that's
It,
good.
it,
That's
it,
good.
feel- it feels more like a baton than a virus. You know what
A
I
little bit. That's good. That's good.
mean? You know what I mean? And again, like, just thematically in there, I think that there are a lot of the energy that, I mean, you said your sister described it as good son vibes. I think there is a lot of good son vibes in there, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit more personal, obviously, the joint where you're talking about, crying and breaking, you know what I mean? But then it's got bars that I love, like when when you're like, wild nice, avocado and fried,
And wild
avocado,
rice.
wild rice, avocado, wild rice. Heavy wears the crown right. I guess there's no gravity in Crown Heights. That whole part, I know I'm messing it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Wild rice, wild nice avocado and wild rice.
Right.
Heavyweight crown, right? Guess there's no gravity in Crown
Crown
Heights.
Heights, right?
Yeah,
And to me, it's a testament to just how much more in control of your flow you also are, right? I mean, I went back and looked at some of the conversations we've had, over the years, and one of the first things you ever said was, "Flow's so dope, you don't need bars. Bars so dope, you don't need the flows." Something in
something like that. Yeah.
there. Yeah, and so to me, that's one of those. I mean, that whole track really, but that's one of those. Like just how you've been able to grow and mature and then truly master your craft in a way that you said a whole lot there, but you didn't need to have the same number of words. You didn't need to have the same energy, because if you listen to The Good Son, that was a high powered project. Like even if you take
more density.
Yeah, it was a lot more dense. And I mean, it's just really a testament to seeing that evolution of you as the MC. You got your personality still comes through, and your ability to wield it is impressive.
I'm grateful to hear that. I'm glad to hear that it comes across that way. And as we just talked, like I think about it, like for a while my content was sick, and I really had to depend on stylisticness to create art that met a certain degree of standard. You know what I mean? Like, when I start to teeter into, because when I start to teeter into, I could see it as early as, and I love all my records, even Dusty I love, you know what I mean? But when I start to teeter, I put out 100 records, so there's no use in going all of them, but I could see, oh, here there's a little toxicity, here's a little more, and I could just see the graph going up. Like, as I start to leave content of love, it kind of forced me a little bit, I think, to sharpen some of the technical components of what it is I do. You know what I mean? So now, even though it was kind of a time that I don't ever want to go back to, I did develop certain strengths on the technical side. You know what I mean? I did continue to evolve technically. So now I could go, because the Good Son, I said, like I was, I didn't have the technical capabilities now or the versatility that I now have. So to tap in to God, thoroughly now is I'm going to have a whole lot more conduits for expression. Just because even while I've, deviated and going up and down spiritually, I've been able to evolve and even been forced, as my spirit was low, to raise my technical component. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why I was so curious in the beginning where this project came from. I know you said you don't do plans, you don't have a plan in that regard, but it's such a seamless, feels well thought out, feels, very open-hearted listen, and you know, I guess that is a product of what happens when you just let go and let God to a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without a doubt, man. God is great. Even as I hear you saying, you know, I want to say thanks so much. Thank you for being, you know, generous with your praise, and you know, all the glory be to God indeed.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, honestly, this is my favorite project this year. I mean,
Yeah.
I meant it when I was saying it earlier. I'm happy it's now available on my iHome, so I can have it, you know, really bumping through the in the way that it should be.
That's a major blessing.
You know, the only constant. That was just talking about a relationship, right?
Well, it was talking about a relationship. It was actually talking about a lot, but it was talking about a lot of changes that were happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
Relationship changes inside me, changes with people that were in my family, changes with people that were my friends, also physical changes in my environment, you know, and within the midst of all this change, not being able to find anyone that I could connect with about how it used to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like the hook, you might not get it if you weren't around. But for my entire, like, I'm the only one that was around for everything. You know what I mean? Like, I could hit up Ben, you know, and talk about the old neighborhood or whatever, or send a joint to Max or Mike or whatever. Big shout to my boys that I've known for a very long time, or my boys Brucey or Mauricio, that we all, you know, everybody in the building shared it with each other. Shouts to Georgie, shouts to all my boys, you know, that were like, yeah, you put the building in the video. But even though I had put the building in the video before, why didn't they pay attention then? I guess whatever. But nobody in my but I mean, I've always said before, well, anyway, I'll let that go. But I could build with them on certain things, and I could build with different people on different things. But it was just about feeling lonely, that I can't. Who can I go to for advice? Yo, I read so much now. Reading's another thing. Like, really, I'm reading and writing. You know what I mean? I guess eating, working out. But I go to books for advice. You know what I mean? But it's not like every book got the truth in it, but I can feel what resonate with me through my intuition. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I'm like, who can I connect with? But I was really disconnected with myself when I was saying, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. But I'm like, yo, I guess that's just the way it is. I guess things just change, and you know, like, it was about a relationship. I was in a relationship it was about a relationship that there was very good stuff. It wasn't about it, but the relationship that I'm referencing in there was a lot of good stuff there, a lot of good stuff. And I feel very, very ashamed about a lot of my behavior in that relationship. You know, I feel very, very ashamed. And, you know, I don't know if the girl that I was in that relationship with will ever hear this, but if she does, I'm very sorry. We don't talk, but I'm very sorry. And I think on a regular basis about how sorry I am. And I've expressed to you, I'm sorry. And I can't express it no more because it's better that we don't talk. But I'm still very sorry, you know, for lots and lots of stuff. But also with me, I was feeling the polar opposites of doing stuff that I knew I wasn't supposed to do, not only in just relationships, but just in life, you know what I mean? And trying to talk myself into things, and like, there's a melancholy in that song, you know, that's really all that it's expressing, you know. That's is just not being able to even, I guess it's not being able to, I'm not really being able to deal with change in that song, but I'm trying to be able to deal with it. Like, I'm trying to put on a strong face in the face of all this change, you know, but I wasn't really ready to let things flow through me at that time, you know. I was trying to hold on to things for sure. I wasn't ready to let go and move through the different phases. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, on that topic of trying to convince yourself to do things, I always think about that story with the day you were thinking about reading out of your rhyme book during the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival.
True story, kid. Yeah.
And then you convinced yourself that Black Thought would do it.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Say what? I can't hear you.
Oh, it's like,
Oh, I hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
To
make a long story short.
Tell about what happened right after.
All right,
After you convinced yourself, Black Thought.
Yeah. To make a long story short, Black Thought has been my favorite rapper for a very long time. You know what I mean? And very much to me, very prototypical of just excellence, you know, in a variety of ways. So when I was about to do 2 new Sean J. Period joints at the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival, and I didn't have the option of swapping them out for joints I knew better, as I normally have, because it was only a Boy saying Sean J. Period, very short set. And I didn't really know them well enough. I thought to myself, maybe I could just read them. I mean, they still hot. I mean, this is rhymes I wrote over the beat I wrote. Maybe I just read them on stage. But right away, something in my inner thing was like a red light start flashing. And like, maybe that's not the right look. Maybe that's not the right idea. So I say to myself, I wonder what Black Thought do a thing like this. In my mind, I'm like, I'm picturing myself as a fan in the crowd. Out comes Black Thought, opens up a book, spits a fly rhyme. I'm like, yo, that was fly. And then I'm like, yo, he would do that. Yo, that would be fly if he did that. You know what I'm saying? And then immediately I decide, all right, I'm gonna do it. You know, it's like I thought if it's good enough for me, I decided it was good enough for him. It was good enough for him. It's good enough for me. And I turn around. I'm walking around trying to, because I got a few like 45 minutes before my set, so I'm walking around the block, like in the vicinity of the concert festival. And like literally within 30 seconds, it wasn't even 30, it was probably within 10 seconds, big, of making this choice. Because I turn around and I start to walk back with confidence. Like, I'm gonna just read out of my book. I don't need to remember all this. People will say, boy, saying right out of his book, but it was hot. This dude is unusual, you know? Who do I see? Right there, just sitting right there, just getting out of the car. It's Black Thought. But he wasn't supposed to be there. He was an unannounced guest. Nobody knew he was gonna be there. Mind you, I run into him right as he arrived. Probably been the only time he was even accessible to me. Any other time he would have been surrounded by people, you know, it was unbelievable. The only thing in the world that could have stopped me from spitting that rhyme with the book in front of all these people, and that was early in people didn't really know who I was. You know what I'm saying? Like so it was like if I would have came out and read with what wound up happening was I was shaky because I didn't know it. So a lot of people were like, yo, I heard about this Homeboy Sandman kid. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not normally shaky live. You can't catch me shaky live more times than you can count on one hand, even if you're missing fingers. But that was one of them. You know what I'm saying? But it was recoverable from the standpoint of popular view. But if I had come out with the book and been shaky, it would have been like some old suicide. Like, yo, not only like it would have been meme status before memes. Like, did you see this cat that came out, couldn't even read it right or something? You know what I mean? And the only thing that would have stopped me was Black Thought right there. And I said, yo, Black Thought. First of all, I said, yo, I was just thinking about what you do something, decide to do is crazy. He said, what is it? I said, I'm about to open up this book and read this rhyme. He said, don't do it, babe. So I didn't do it.
Oh man, look at that, man. It's you can't. That's divine.
Yeah, that's divine. That's truly divine.
Because you're right about that. He was a secret guest.
Yeah,
he was not on the bill.
He was not at all on the bill. They were doing the J Period live mixtape, not to be confused with Sean J Period, who I was rocking with.
Right. I mean, that's just such an incredible story. It always stands out to me, man. You know.
My whole that's my whole life, B. That's my whole life with these is going good. Just cold insanity, B. Now I'm out here in Lake Tahoe about to go snowmobiling. It's crazy. It's crazy day after day out here.